Assalamualaikum, knock it on. Waalaikumsalam, knock it on, don. Welcome to Six Figure Discussions Podcast. Today's episode is number 7. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Don't be cheap. It's free. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram.
Show us some love.
Show us some love, man. No, seriously, thank you everyone for watching. 2 partners in crime have joined forces. So we're now here in the same studio, coming at you from Washington, D.C. My boy Tam is going to be here for
DC
about 2 weeks until he starts his new job in mid-August, right? In New York.
I've already started.
You started, but like in person. In person.
Yeah.
With that out of the way, how you been, bro?
Good. It's good to be back.
So today's topic, I think, is going to be a little bit controversial, and we've been getting some DMs from a bunch of different people, just either sending us links to a guy named Andrew Tate, either to watch his videos, or actually a couple of them actually asked us, like, what do you guys think about this guy? Instead of responding to one person, we just decided, hey, why not? Maybe we should just go ahead and record our opinion, and that way we can mass produce it and people get to hear what we think about this guy. So that's the episode for today. Andrew Tate. So we've done some research on this guy. Man, I think he's breaking the entire internet.
That man's taking over the algorithm. It's hard not to think about him or talk about him because you saw, like, I pulled up my phone just to show you a video on YouTube, and it just so happened to be that my entire page was filled up with Andrew Tate shorts, and I don't know what it is about my browsing history that made that, but he's clearly taking over YouTube right now.
Not just YouTube, like the entire social media, right?
Instagram,
TikTok. Yes,
he's everywhere. Yeah, he's just breaking all the trends.
Like, when you first saw his videos, what was your first impression of this guy? Like, did you think he's the internet guru who's trying to sell you a real estate course or something, or what kind of impression did you have when you saw him first time?
Exactly that. I not even gonna sugarcoat it. I was just really repulsed by the guy from the get go. I was like, wait, some shady guy selling me some shady course. Kind of looks like a douchebag. No offense to my bold brethren out there who like to wear shades indoors. Hey, like, you do you, but I don't know. It was kind of shady. But yeah, and just the things that he was talking about also just kind of went for that shock factor. And from, like, he, just how polarizing he is, it gets you hooked from the first second. Even the voice, like, his voice is very aggressive, and it's just like very, but also very commanding in a sense.
He knows how to manipulate it in a way where you can listen, like, it makes you want to listen carefully whenever he raises his voice.
Yeah. And he just kind of, he doesn't ask for your attention. He grabs it very violently in a sense.
Yeah. I had a similar impression of Andrew Tate. I've been seeing his videos, again, like you said, right, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. And the first impression that I also got was the same. Like, hey, this guy's probably going to either teach you or sell you a course on how to get laid or how to make money online, which is like the biggest thing that these people sell. But I think he's a little bit different from other gurus in that a lot of stuff that he says makes logical sense. For example, his opinions on work ethic, right? His opinions on why you should be disciplined. His opinions on why you should basically carry yourself as a confident man, right? Those are all legit things that he talks about that make a really good point.
Yeah.
And there are some outrageous ones, for example, about having 5 wives. Well, like one.
Like a harem, yeah.
Yeah, so that way you don't get to do the, I think he calls it like BS activities, like going to a mall with them, and they all five of them can just kind of go together.
My goodness.
You can get to do your own stuff. Yeah, but he's kind of been capturing the entire media space now at this point. There hasn't been a single major podcast or content creator who hasn't covered this guy.
Yeah. And I agree. He's controversial, but he's also logically consistent.
Mm-hmm.
He does not contradict himself, and he does not come off as hypocritical in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So the things that he says, for the most part, he backs up as controversial as the things that he says may be.
Yeah. Let's cover some of his background that we got to read through. What was that? So he was a kickboxing champion.
Which is impressive.
Yeah, in and of itself, yes. Kickboxing champion, was in some shady businesses like webcam back in the day somewhere in Romania. He made quite a bit of money from that. Then I think his dad was a chess grandmaster. And so he learned to play chess, and now he's kind of incorporating the knowledge he learned from chess into like his businesses and his media personality. What else does he do? He's very lean, very in shape. So he basically has most of the attributes that would make a man listen to him.
Yeah, because men want to be him.
Yeah. He
has the characteristics of a man that, I don't know, somebody who is overweight, jobless, and stuck in living with their parents would want to listen to and be like.
Who do you think is his target audience with the what's that? Hustlers University, the course that he sells, and the videos? Like, why? Who is he targeting, in your opinion?
I don't exactly know, but if I'm the target audience, I will need to reevaluate my life choices because I feel like there's something amiss in my life if I need to sign up for a course to learn some of these common sense things, in my opinion. Because Hustlers University, the things that he talks about, for the most part, I think are common sense. So I think his target audience is probably just a lonely young male, young to middle age, anywhere between, 18 to 35, maybe even 40. Somebody who is lost in life, doesn't necessarily have a purpose, somebody who doesn't have a routine in a sense. So they're kind of shapeless, both physically and mentally. Yeah. So then all of a sudden they look at this person who seems to be very sharp, both kind of from the cognitive standpoint, and then physically just kind of in shape, former
bunch of women, supercars.
Exactly. He's got everything. Men with no purpose look to him, and they seek his knowledge and his advice to perhaps get to that point and be able to be like him.
If you were, let's say, 19-year-old, right? Let's rewind the time. You're 19-year-old. You at that point you probably are aware of Jordan Peterson, and you've seen videos of Andrew Tate. And if you had to choose between the two, who would you listen to more? If you were 19 years old and you see these two personalities?
It's a good question. I feel like it probably wouldn't be mutually exclusive because I feel like a lot of times kids do consume media in such a large amounts that they're able to watch a lot of different people. Yeah. It's almost like it comes in packages. Like if you listen to Jordan Peterson, chances are that you listen to Tate, you probably listen to Joe Rogan and all these other people. But I guess you would, as a 19-year-old boy, who's probably not popular with women, which I was, by the way, who's not particularly good looking, who's not kind of had that much success in life, but it's early kind of to say at 19 years of age, who's just all in all somewhat lost. I think I would just be more attracted to what Tate has to say. but it's not even necessarily about the content. It's about the packaging. The packaging is just so much more shinier on that side. Yeah. Shinier than his bald head. Because think about it this way. Like on one side, you got this Jordan Peterson, who kind of looks like your average college professor, who you probably can't stand listening to, but have to, or like your high school teacher. And then there's this man who's got all these exciting things going on.
Again, you're giving this perspective from a 19-year-old.
Yeah, from a 19-year-old. And obviously, you probably want that instant gratification. You want somebody who is kind of loud, who's kind of just really out there. And I feel like because of that, you'd probably be like, I'd probably be more attracted to like just listening more to Andrew Tate than Jordan Peterson.
Would you buy his course? Again, if you were a 19-year-old, lost, have no luck. I mean, not saying you were that, but let's just say someone who is 19-year-old, lost. I mean, you can't really say that a 19-year-old is lost. I mean, if you think about it, when you're 19, you don't, it's normal for you not to figure out your whole life what you're going to do, right? But I think people have made young generations to believe that if you don't have your stuff figured out by the time you're 21, you're screwed, which,
yeah,
I mean, not really the case. But again, going back to that 19-year-old hypothetical question, would a 19-year-old who's lost end up buying Andrew Tate's course over Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson. That's a good question. I want to hear your opinion too, but it's like, because I feel like how was it for you like at 19 years of age? Because I feel like 19 years or like 18 through 20 is such a tricky time because it's just the time you graduate from high school, hypothetically speaking, and this structure that your life had for 12 or 11 years of your life, all of a sudden is gone. And then you're kind of dropped in this open sea. You could go to a trade school. You could not go to a school at all. You could go to a college. But for the most part, at some point in that like 18 through 20 period, you hit that realization that you kind of have the world to explore. You can go anywhere, but you also don't necessarily have a sense of direction.
Yeah. Like there's no external force that makes you, that makes you want to stay this.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because like 12 years of school, you were just like, it's compulsory. You just go through it and you hate it, or you might like it depending on the person. But for the most part, it's comforting and that there is a structure to the life. And then what's next? I feel like as an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old, you might get lost because of that.
You know, that's an excellent question because I did experience that once I graduated from high school.
What's next?
Yeah, I was like so happy that I finally don't have to wake up in the morning. I don't have to work out. And I just let myself go, I think, for like 6 months.
Wow.
Just, I don't have to eat healthy. I don't have to do none of this. I don't have to think about nothing. Wasn't thinking about future. Wasn't thinking about anything. I was just in that state of bliss where I was just like happy that those days are over in a sense.
Yeah.
But then after some time, again, it's as you sit with yourself more, you kind of realize that you have to dig within to find something to like put your life together, whether that's discipline, whether that's consistency or workouts, whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
Or education.
Yeah.
But at 19 years old, I also didn't know what I wanted to do. And not only I didn't want to think what I wanted to do, I was also intimidated to think what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Definitely relate to that.
Even with university stuff, right? When you have to pick a major, I was also very hesitant which one I wanted to do because I wasn't feeling good with either of them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if I had it within me to, say if it's international relations, I didn't know if I had it within me to stick to it for the next 4 years. And I don't know if you listened to Jacko's podcast with Andrew Huberman.
I have not.
You have not?
I have not.
But if you listen to Andrew Huberman's childhood and like kind of his teenage years, he was a mess until the age of 26.
Really?
Yes, he was I wouldn't say he was a drug addict, but he had tattoos. He had no education. He had no money. He just had nothing going in his life at the age of 26. Just one day, he had this, one of his coaches, I think he played football or something.
Yeah.
Again, just opinions. And then his coach gave him that look, from which point on he was like, okay, I don't want to see the look again. And that's when he started to, putting his life together. And now look at him. He's like, what, 46, 47?
Yeah.
Stanford University professor, has his podcast, neuroscience expert, you could say. Now he has his life put together. But again, and at the end of the podcast, Jocko was making that same point in that if you were like less than 25 years old, if you didn't get a perfect score on your SAT score or ACT, if you don't know what you want to do, just know that it's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out by the time you're like 20 or 21.
Yeah.
And Andrew Huberman was the example, because I think we're living in a time where, like you said, a lot of men are lost.
Yeah.
Because they're feeling lost. They're seeking this external source of wisdom or some deep buried knowledge that they want someone to express. Right?
Yeah.
And then that's how you find people like, say, Jocko or Lex Friedman or Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And he makes you believe that you're lost, you don't have your stuff figured out, and this is why you need this Hustles University. And he's basically the hero that's going to save your day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the point that I was wanted to make, is that it's totally fine not to have it all planned out or kind of figured out by the time like 21, 22.
Yeah. But I guess the approaches are different if you think about it. Like you mentioned Huberman, you mentioned Jordan Peterson. When you listen to them, it seems like their message is a little more reassuring. It comes from a place of positivity.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's okay, you got this. It's that kind of a message. And it's not meant to degrade you. It's meant to uplift you and empathize with you. But then if you think about the rhetoric, the broad rhetoric that comes out of Andrew Tate, it seems like it's the opposite end of the spectrum. Although perhaps there is the same end goal to it, because like think about like how he talks about men who are not like him, men who are not in shape, men who don't have the Aston Martins or don't have the fancy cars or don't have the women in their lives. He kind of degrades them.
Mm-hmm.
And his audience, or at least a sizable portion of his audience, is probably those men he degrades. So in a sense, it's almost like there's the Petersons and the
Jackos,
who kind of reassure you, but then there's also Andrew Tate who kind of shakes you up.
He makes you feel less.
It's like shock therapy.
Yeah. But you're right, and I think the difference between guys like Jocko, Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman, all these guys, and someone like Andrew Tate, is that those guys give you practical wisdom. They tell you what they basically reiterate whatever, like the same principles that have worked throughout the centuries, right? Like discipline, consistency, hard work, right? And they just leave it up to you to make your own choice. And then you have this guy who delivers the same message, but at the same time has this degrading voice, and he makes you feel like you're less than who you are. And by saying buying his stuff, you'll feel more fulfilled, or you get the goals that you always wanted to get. But again, I think he made good points, Andrew Tate. But if all you pursue is the external stuff, which is the woman, which is the cars, which is all of that stuff, it's like a house of cards. Like if your internal state is not up to your external state, it's only a matter of time before you crumble.
So I guess the soul is the core that holds up the body, is what you're trying to say?
It's like a computer. In order to develop a strong computer, you need a software and you also need a hardware that keeps up with it, right? If you only develop the hardware, but your software is not up to date, then no matter how much, how sick the computer might look, it's still not going to perform as well because the software is outdated. Whereas if you bring the two up together at the same time, then you have the supercomputer that can withstand whatever. Like you can put all the different wires in it, all the different monitors. It's going to work just fine.
Right.
I think that's what a lot of people have fallen victim to, is that they pursue all these external goals, fancy cars, fancy watches, women, all of that stuff. But yet their internal state, like they don't know themselves. They don't know what they stand for. And when the push comes to shove, when their going gets tough, they crumble.
Yeah.
And I think people might be okay listening to Andrew Tate. Again, he's a great guy from what we've seen. Again, we don't know anything about his past.
Yeah.
But purely from opinion standpoint, from like what he has to say, he's an interesting guy to listen to.
Yeah.
Would you want to listen to him every day, though?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. And the reason why I wouldn't want to listen to him every day, it could be a source of daily motivation in a sense, or a daily source of entertainment. Because let's not put Andrew Tate on too much on the pedestal. He's not a philosopher. He's just I think a masterful entertainer, and like a lot of it is for sure entertainment. But at the same time, I feel like there's this very carefully crafted persona that he created on social media that is not necessarily a full reflection of what a complete man should be. Because and this is where I want to kind of hear your thoughts. Because the people like Jordan Peterson, and I've noticed that it's becoming very much a trend, are coming to terms and perhaps are trying to bring attention to the fact that one of the hardest things for a man to master is showing their vulnerable side, being vulnerable. Because as a society, we're just kind of conditioned as men to not express emotions and to hold it in essentially throughout our entire lives. And therefore, you don't see men going to therapy. Therefore, you don't see men expressing themselves. And I think Petty Pimblett is very much a case in point. Man just went out there and spoke out in front of thousands of people in the audience.
That was the UFC London.
Yeah, exactly. In one of the most hyper masculine sports in the world. And he just went out there and he said, hey, I would rather have my friend cry on my shoulder than having to go to his funeral the week after. So, and that side of Andrew Tate is not existent, at least from the videos that I've seen. Because it's a very carefully crafted image.
Yeah. He makes fun of people who go to therapies.
Case in point.
That's an excellent point, but yeah.
So how would you, let's say if you were going back to that 19-year-old, how would you feel? Like if you're feeling down, if you're feeling sad, is it healthy for you to just replace your sadness with this aggression that you're being fed by Andrew Tate?
Again, if I'm not aware of my emotions, if I'm not aware of what's happening internally, then most likely, yes. I would, because he would fire me up, right? Like saying all these things like, oh, you don't need therapy. You're a man. You need to go get what you want, right? Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I would feel fired up. I would feel fired up to do exactly that. And, I think another aspect of his online university that he sells, once you sign up, there's a way you can make money through like an affiliate link. So people are technically incentivized to create YouTube channels on behalf of Andrew Tate, posting reels and highlights of this guy and adding their own personal affiliate links in the description so that someone watching, if I'm 19-year-old and I say stumble on Andrew Tate 6502, right, YouTube channel, it's not him, it's just someone created it with like 10 subscribers. And he has this video that caught my attention. I want to sign up. I can click on the link on the description. Now this guy gets the money, and which is perfect in terms of like, I think his meteoric rise kind of is self-explanatory at that point, because now everyone is incentivized to spread the message, spread the university. Maybe that's where his chess background comes into play.
Brilliant. Freaking genius.
Now, same question to you. Would you be, if you watched Andrew Tate, he captured your attention, would he make you want to go out and like pursue your goals with aggression?
Yeah, probably. But he would also, I think, make me just a pretty angry person in general. And to the point where I would probably be a little more repulsive to people. And as a result, it would kind of become a self-perpetuating cycle where I'm very repulsive because of this anger that I have built up in me and this aggression.
Yeah.
Because the aggression is inherently intimidating to other people. And it just kind of like alienates everybody. But then the more you alienate people, the angrier you become from this loneliness that you develop over time. Because at the end of the day, maybe you will, because of this just kind of perpetual like alpha domination like image that you build up, maybe you will be popular with girls.
Mm-hmm.
But how substantial is that going to be? Are they going to be attracted to that surface? Or is there going to be something more meaningful to that?
Right.
It's kind of like a Dan Bilzerian situation where like, okay, like you have 5 women showing off their asses on your Instagram, but what's the point?
Yeah.
Well, because at the end of the night, you're probably pretty darn lonely when you're sleeping next to those women who you probably don't really know much about. Neither do they actually know the true you.
Speaking of Dan Bilzerian, how do these two compare?
Man,
Andrew Tate,
God bless his soul. God bless Dan Bilzerian. Wait, say it again?
How is Dan Bilzerian different from Andrew Tate, in your opinion?
That's a tougher question than asking how they're similar, because I feel like they're very similar in that both are kind of like really bulky, both are very athletic in their own right.
Into guns, women, cars.
Exactly. Both have this like flashing personas on social media. How are they different? God damn, I guess I'm just really impressed by the genius behind Tate's hacking of the social media algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Like tell me if I'm wrong, but I honestly don't know if there's anybody else out there who was able to pull something off like this. Something like this. It's just
can't
unheard of. Yeah, like unprecedented. Like, and it's just like the way he set up that structure with affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
And where he's just like created this, I shouldn't say Ponzi scheme, like created this pyramid where everybody's getting traction on social media because of him. And he's at the top of that pyramid.
Yeah.
Just genius. Yeah. Like it's like he's a chess grandmaster. Like good for him. Absolute legend. I do want to talk shit about him so that maybe he will pull up in front of my house in the Aston Martin and try to threaten me.
What would you do if he did it?
I would come on. I'd have a conversation. Maybe he's actually a nice guy, and maybe he'll convert me to Christianity and teach me of the ways of Jesus Christ.
I think people like that create this vicious cycle where they, for example, if chicks watch Dan Bilzerian, right? That's for them. It signals because he gets all this attention. I mean, at least he used to get all this attention. It signals to them that, so the best version of a man is someone like this. And in order for me to attract someone like that, I need to be looking like the chicks that he's hooking up with.
And they're wearing Dan Bilzerian.
It's that, and then they also like become shallow over time. And you have that, and then you have the Andrew Tate, where guys look up to him, at least the younger generation. They're like, oh, so all girls want someone like that. So I need to be up to par with that type of personality.
Yeah.
And from both sides, you now have the woman that is working her way up to be someone like Dan Bilzerian's partners.
Yeah.
And you have a man who's working his way up to be someone like Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And when the two meet, it's just, a time-ticking bomb. Do you think he'll stop selling the courses? Or do you think there's something more that he's going to sell us later on?
Salespeople sell, man. Hustlers hustle. The old OG of sales, Jordan Belfort, has been selling since like 80s, 90s. He's still out there selling somebody something. So I don't know what it's going to be. Probably the next hype out there. He will probably try and sell it. But so far, it seems like he's focused specifically on Hustlers University, right? And it seems like it's a very specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the self-improvement type of a course. I have no idea what's in the course. Maybe we should pitch in and out of curiosity just buy it and see what's there and do a review.
Oh, I could be
depending on how much it costs. Because I feel like
good.
Yeah, as long as there's a market out there for frustrated young men with no purpose in life, Andrew Tate will thrive. And Asalu, best of luck to him with that. He's doing what he's doing.
But he also comes at the perfect time where there's economic confusion around the world, right? There are wars happening left and right. People are angry.
Yeah, just call it recession.
We're in a recession. There's just a lot of negativity happening everywhere.
Yeah.
He comes as this guy who's the savior, who can make you, navigate through the space and come out with a bunch of women and supercars and all that.
Seems very promising. Yeah. I'm not opposed to the idea. I would love to drive an Aston Martin.
Do you think Andrew Tate is just all the facade, all the glitter, without anything solid underneath?
I think now I got the question. So the way I think about it, to me personally, when I assess a course and when I want to sign up for a course or when I want to learn something, there are three things that I look out for. So those three things are, in terms of the material, is it new to me?
Mm-hmm.
Are the things that are being said in the course things that I don't know yet? Second is it specific to what I want to learn?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if I have a podcasting aspiration, and if I sign up for a course, I probably want something very specific to the art of podcasting.
Yeah.
So how do I do search engine optimization? How do I edit?
Set up audience. Set up the studio.
Yeah, so something very specific. And third, can I find a free alternative?
Right.
Because you have to remember that we live in an information age. So whatever you want to learn out there, chances are that there is a free course available somewhere on the internet.
Yeah.
And even the fact that the most reputable institutions, most reputable educational institutions in the country have free courses on YouTube is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You want to learn from a Harvard professor? Go out there. There's tons of courses from the best professors at Harvard.
Yeah.
Computer science, business management, finance, anything. So when it comes to courses that, first of all, require money, second, don't really talk about anything specific,
just very
general topics, and third, are telling me things that for the most part I already know, it's like they don't check any of the three boxes. So I guess it's just a question of like, what's your, what are you looking to get out of that course? Out of, let's say, Hustlers University or any other like self-help course out there? Are you just trying to get a sense of direction? And if so, what makes you think that that specific person can give you that sense of direction? And in case of Andrew Tate, it seems like the only thing that gives him the authority to tell you what to do in your life, to give you that command in terms of your life direction, is the facade.
Yeah.
This kind of image persona that he's built online. The cars, the
woman,
the looks, and all of those things. But did he have to take a Hustlers University course to get to all those things? Or did he have to go to a kickboxing gym to become a kickboxing fighter?
Exactly, yes.
And I don't know.
Probably have mentors, financial, spiritual.
Yeah. So instead of going to a life coach who could probably just give you some general information, I would much rather go to sets of different instructors or coaches or teachers who can teach me specific things about the things that I'm passionate about and the things that I want to pursue in life. So, and it's up to the person. I feel like any individual out there might be lost and just unsure of kind of what they want to do in their lives. But for the most part, you probably have like at 18 years of age or kind of as an adult, you probably have a sense of understanding as to what makes you tick.
Yeah.
What gets you out of bed every morning? There's got to be something. And you just got to drill into that instead of listening to people talk about how they would like to have 5 wives or whatever.
Yeah, he's just someone you could watch for like entertainment purposes.
Yeah. He's hilarious. I love Andrew Tate. He's great. It's you can just listen to him and
and he has that thing in him that like he can stand his ground whenever he's confronted like by different people, confronted on his views on women, all that, which is like he talks the talk and he walks the walk. And him being a kickboxer champion also adds to it. Like,
Yeah. I guess we don't have that much confrontation on our daily lives. I would like to watch people argue.
So, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on when it comes to Andrew Tate?
No. Thumbs up. Hustlers University for the win. A referral link below.
Okay, how about this? So you, like, at your age, imagine this. Imagine you're speaking on the camera, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing someone who's 19 years old who is lost. And he's confused in that he has this Andrew Tate guy, and then he has other individuals like Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, and Jocko, right? And he's not sure which one to pick. What would you tell to this 19-year-old?
To this 19-year-old,
doesn't have to be 19, just someone younger than you.
Someone younger than me. I guess it's a matter of reverse engineering. So ask yourself who you want to be in the future, and you can pick any arbitrary time point in time, 5 years, 10 years from now, whatever, up to you completely. And then look at yourself today, who you are today, and just work on understanding what it takes to get to the point that you want to get to in whatever time that you want to get there.
And you don't need someone like Andrew Tate to get you there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the most generic question that you get in every job interview, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Yeah, people like to hate on that question, but It is a very valid question. Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years? And it's okay not to have a valid answer or a solid answer to that question. If you see 3 or 4 or even more ways in which your life could go, you could always pursue these interests of yours. And eventually, just by process of elimination, you will get to the point where there is something that you find passionate, or maybe multiple things that you're very passionate about. And at that point, it's just a matter of specifically drilling down on those things. But it's a matter of being specific. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of being deliberate in the things that you look at.
And the information that you consume.
And the information that you consume. But then it's like, if you just keep hearing, oh yeah, conceive, believe, achieve. Oh, I drive an Aston Martin. Like I have 5 women. Like, what's the value at?
Yeah. So
you're seeing the end. You're not seeing the means.
The journey. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not seeing the journey. You're not seeing the journey. You know? And even looking at the end itself, it's like, some disturbing stuff about Andrew Tate, the fact that he's being like accused of human trafficking.
Oh, man.
He's in Romania for some reason,
and he is American citizen.
An American citizen hiding in Romania. The fact that his source of income is just a string of just webcam casinos. Yeah, and if that's what you want to be in life, hey, by all means, like, I think Andrew Tate is the man that you should listen to. Hustlers University, and he'll teach you how to be
alpha male.
An alpha male, yeah. At least that definition of at least that definition of alpha male, because everybody has their own definition of alpha male. So yeah.
Be very selective who you listen to online. Doesn't matter how short the video is, because the stuff is like a seed in. Once you plant that seed, it will just start to grow.
Yeah.
And that seed can turn into weed and just gonna make you a mess.
Yeah.
But again, advice to younger people, stick with fundamentals, right? Stick to people that have a track record where they've like been in this thing, whatever that is, right? For years, like 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Read them, study them. Get new insights. Anyone who offers a quick fix through like online courses, quick fixes on life, quick fixes on dating, quick fixes on money, stay away from that. There's absolutely, at least from our experience, I don't know if I told you this, but this could be an episode for the next podcast, but I spent quite a bit of money on these like online things. I think like $5,000 total.
Goodness.
Yeah. I can talk about it later.
Oh my God.
And yeah, coming from experience, like it's just garbage.
But Adam, we need to talk about that. Holy shit, bro! You were sitting on a gold mine and you'd never
gold mine.
Oh,
episode.
Yeah.
But you could just look at it as a $5,000 lesson I needed to sit my ass down and admit that I need to stick to fundamentals.
Yes.
Some of the takeaways that someone could get from watching Andrew Tate, again, because like we said earlier, right? Some things he says make sense.
Yeah.
Some are controversial and some don't make sense.
Yes.
And things that he says that make sense, for example, is the discipline, consistency, staying committed to whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes.
And if those 3 are applied in whatever we're trying to pursue, right?
Yeah.
So, whoever's watching, they want to pursue, I don't know, real estate, right? They want to buy few houses that would generate them passive income over the years. That's a good goal.
Yeah.
And for that, number one thing that you need is not only the knowledge, right, which will come over time, but for you to gain that knowledge, you need to be committed, you need to be disciplined, and you need to be consistent. Once these 3 are applied, then it's in no time will you get the knowledge you need to start your real estate venture. So that would be the takeaway from someone could get from watching Andrew Tate. Again, great guy, brilliant, genius, nothing but love. Just our opinions, very generic. What else? Who would you want him to see fight in MMA?
Who would I want Andrew Tate to fight? in MMA?
Yes. He's an MMA guy. He's not a boxer.
I want to see him fight Conor McGregor. I'm not interested in the fight. I'm just interested in the press conference. I want to see that press conference. Don't even give me the fight. Like, I'll pay pay-per-view money for the conference.
You heard it, Dana White, Uncle Dana, Pink Dana, make it happen. Uncle Dana,
Dana White,
Andrew Tate versus Conor McGregor, make it happen.
Please.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for staying till the end. If you have, make sure you drop the like. Make sure you leave comments. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the love. Follow us on social media. Listen to us on those streaming platforms. Make sure you spread the positive energy. Always stay out there. Always stay disciplined. Stay committed. Stay consistent. And achieve the goals you have for yourself. With that out of the way, Assalamualaikum. We'll talk next time.
Lachte.